wide-ranging involvements with Oceanside's Dementia Education Task Team, Odette, or her Spirit Well Dementia Initiative. And Hildy will be speaking with us momentarily. And also with us from their home in New York is Marnie's youngest son, David, sitting here, wife May, and Julia and Chelsea, Marnie's only two granddaughters who are helping Marnie here today. Sitting in the back is Rich Howe from Ducks Unlimited Oceanside chapter, and Rich is our salmon authority emeritus. And that's both at angling, at least that's what he tells the world, as well as barbecuing. And so Rich has a bell that he'll be ringing up there to signal when it's time for us to line up. And this is a chef we don't want to disappoint. And finally, I'm really pleased to introduce Court Brooker. Court is the lead facilitator for Oceanside's Prostate Cancer Support Group, and Court and I collaborate on many of those things. But he's also a very talented photographer and videographer. And so Court is going to be videoing today's event so that Marnie and her family and we'll all have a remembrance of what's about to happen. Estuaries in British Columbia comprise less than 3% of the province's entire shoreline, yet they provide over 80% of all of the habitat for coastal fish, plus all 5 salmon species, and other anadromous species fish such as steelhead and cutthroat trout, along with almost all indigenous Vancouver Island terrestrial creatures and animals, as well as bird life. And this is the estuary. This estuary has had a particularly checkered history, in part because it was a crucial chum salmon stream for the Kewalkum Aboriginals that first settled here, and that's with emphasis on the K and the W. What we know today is that early Europeans gave a phonetic spelling to Kawa, which became Kewal, and our modern day Kewalkum. And so here we have the little Qualicum River as our backdrop, the estuary of that river and where it turns into the ocean, and of course the big Qualicum River which is just up the way. And the Qualicum Aboriginal Band is still active and in residence primarily around the big Qualicum River. We also have had both a blessing and an approval from the Qualicum in terms of Marnie's Muse and what you're going to experience today. Marnie's Muse started from my inquiry. It evolved into a concept, and it was followed by a really complex progression that all started over 4 years ago. And after all of the approvals, including not quite a blessing from the Qualicum, but I'm told that's available, and particularly since there will be a public one coming along soon, that will happen too. But in July of 2015, funding was in place and construction took place within weeks and was completed late last September. Marnie's Irish luck that same September guided a final bit of research on my part, with the astonishing and unexpected discovery of a realistic appearing but actually bogus signage that we had all respected during the years that we have lived here. And this adjoining property has now been allowed as a result of my inquiry and luckily stumbling onto this imitation sign and speaking with the Nature Conservancy. As a result, we had an equally surprising and rapid apologetic provincial government intervention right away. And so as a result, all of the fencing, you see a remnant post here and a remnant post there, all of the fencing, the signage, elimination of cattle grazing took place the week of Christmas. And so today, Marnie's Muse embraces the entire remaining estuary on this south side of the Little Qualicum River for its last kilometer. And so this is what we're referring to when we talk about Marnie's Muse. Hildy, can we call on you for a few words, please?
Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Marnie. As we come together today, let us celebrate what is and imagine what is possible. We celebrate the spirit of all the people circling this place, acknowledging the first peoples on this land. We celebrate Marnie's Muse as a sanctuary for coastal fish and wildlife and the blessing this offers the human species. We celebrate the Creator's gifts and our desire to honor those gifts. We celebrate the deep connections found in this community of souls gathered to commemorate a place, a dream, and a life. We draw inspiration to uplift our hearts from the earth and the sky, from the water, salty and fresh, from the melody of the eagle's wings, from the dance of bees and butterflies, from our own thanksgiving and our own yearnings for justice that rolls down like water in the soul. So I invite you to breathe deep the mystery of this day and the blessings of life itself. Look from face to face, here now. Look around. See the grandeur of human strength, the possibilities of excellence, and the wisdom of laughter and play. Lean into the unburdened simplicity of being in this moment. We look to the four directions for hope and possibilities. To the east where the sun rises, to the south where the warm breeze awakens us, to the west where the mountains rise up to greet us, to the north where potential waits to be discovered. May all who wander into this place or search for it be welcomed by its serenity, feel invited to open their hearts, be surrounded and changed by its beauty, and be made whole by its wonder and grace. For even if we depart tomorrow, we shall always arrive today. So as you go and share the gifts together from the water and the land, enjoy the hospitality of each other's gifts of presence. For as long as the sun shall shine and the moon shall rise, for as long as the river shall flow, for as long as the grass shall grow, let us be kind to each other and let us know deep peace. So now we're going to unveil the together. Good tug.
All of you here are friends, neighbors, healthcare professionals, caregivers, or related allies, and two for Marnie and for me. And that's in the strictest and very best interpretation of those words and the compassion that has come with them and from all of you. And so what I'd like to do is to ask Colleen Halliday. Colleen, would you come up? Christy Giles. Susan Atchison is not here. She'll be rushing to join us. Elise Wilson. Elise, please stand up. Kathleen Murphy. And also selfless, and I really mean this in every sense of the word, is Kathy Zahar. Kathy, please stand up with us. And we want to thank you and Dr. Marlene Van de Weide, who had a private experience with this plaque before she left to go out of town. But there's many others that are unavailable to be with us today. However, each one of you in so many ways have been crucial to Marnie's dementia journey and always supporting us at the home up the hill. And our well-being and presence here today has really been made possible by the splendid efforts that all of you represent. And so too, all of you are part of Marnie's Muse. And on the Muse, that, as you will read, we've been able to add the words unstinting support from Dr. Marlene Van de Weide and her medical associates, plus invaluable support or encouragement from Marnie's many Oceanside allies and friends throughout her dementia journey. And here you are. And so we're very grateful for your presence and making this possible.
Thank you. With eyes open and hearts flowing with gratitude, we gaze upon the majesty before us. Mother Earth, we thank you. Breathe deep the energy of kindred spirits in this place, knowing that our spirits are always free, always whole, and always recognized by those who love us. In the love of the Creator, go in peace and live out your joy this day. Amen.
And we also have another dimension that is represented here, so I'll put on this particular and I'm referring to next door neighbors Charlene and Andy Picard. And Andy are not only on their own dementia journey, but they continue as annual sponsor donors to Ducks Unlimited, who played a significant stakeholder role in making Marnie's Muse possible. Charlene's now a permanent resident of Qualicum Manor and unable to be present with us today. It's my very fine pleasure to present on behalf of Oceanside Ducks Unlimited is the 2015 sponsor medallion for Andy and Charlene to add to their sponsor plaque. Dr. Picard, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm just going to say thank you, Andy.
Okay.
Yeah. And then it'll be your turn.
Okay.
Because it was, I hope it came off as a surprise.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it did.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Picture. And finally, I also have two newly minted Olympic year specially imprinted Lucky Loonies to present to Chelsea and Julia and thank them for being with their grandmother today. These lucky Canadian icons will serve you well as you continue to live in the excited States. So thank you both Julia and Chelsea. And Hildy, thank you again for your splendid, splendid words.
Welcome.
On this most special of days for Marnie and for her family and especially with her granddaughters being here on our particular dementia journey, which continues, but now with the benefit of Marnie's Muse. And now, if you'll please enjoy the salmon barbecue back up at the house, courtesy of Chef Emeritus, sitting in the back row, Ridge Howe, and his associate Shirley. And thank you again for coming down, and we look forward to seeing you back up at the house and some, hopefully some welcome refreshments. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry.